how to install a P-trap so it has a clean out. A lot of times we'll install a P-trap on its own, so that way when it comes time to snake the pipe coming out of the wall, you have to take the P-trap apart to snake the pipe. But if you install a clean out, you just unscrew the plug, put the snake down, and then put the plug back in. Now the way you put it together is very important, because if you put the wrong part somewhere, nothing will align properly. Now, probably the most common way of doing this is taking your Y, putting it on the wall pipe, clean out plug, putting it in the Y, then you take trap and go like that. Or you might have the trap go here and have the clean out go there. But I'm putting a vanity in, and it's going to be a little bit more over here, so I have to align this differently. The way I've decided it's going to go is I'm going to have Street 45, and these are great to align pipes that don't properly align. And then I'll take the Y, put it there, of course give it a good slope, clean out goes here, and then I have my trap go there. Now that I have a good way figured out, I know that I can then just glue all this together. One thing you should never do is point the drain up like this. Now you've created an S-trap. As the water goes down through the trap and goes through here, it'll siphon out the trap because of this portion filling up with water. So you can only install this horizontally like that. So now I'm going to glue on my Street 45, and there is some old primer on the wall pipe, but that primer is now dry, and it's basically like it's just bare PVC now. So I want to reapply the primer. This is purple primer. You can use clear primer, which looks a bit nicer. Some states actually require the purple primer be used, so that way an inspector can see that you primed the joints. So I always like to actually go with the hub first. And I want to apply a decent amount, enough that it softens the plastic, but I don't want it to be too much, and then it makes it look all messy. So I'm going to apply a nice amount of it, but not too much. Now there was a time where this primer wasn't around yet and people would just glue the PVC fittings without the primer. And what happens is the joints can easily pop apart because there's no primer that made the glue stick well. Now this is the glue, and it's just like the primer except it has PVC resin in it, which allows it to stick. So I'm going to again go with my hub first. We go with the wall pipe, right? Twist it a bunch of times, and this is allowing the parts to get smeared together. I'm putting it in with a slight slope up because I want it to slope down the water. And I'm holding it in place because it might want to pop off, and that's good. Like that. Okay. So now, I'm going to take the base of my Y, like that, wall pipe, okay, I'm going to take glue, wall elbow, same thing. Right. We're going to slight slope up. You don't want too much slope because you may make this an S-trap or your trap may not align properly. In this case, it'll actually align perfectly fine. And now I got a piece of pipe that I cut a bit too long, so that way I have enough room in the future to cut this for the P-trap that will go in. So I'm just going to glue that like that, and then I'll trim this whatever length I need to. So, take the primer like that. Take the glue. I'm going to do the nicer end. The other end isn't that good, and I'll just cut that off. I have these letters, and I'm going to have those point down. Alright. Now it's time to do the finishing touch, the clean out. Now I will always want to take the plug out, because if I get any glue in here, these will get fused together. So always take the clean out plug out, so that way it doesn't get fused. If you do get glue in these threads, you can quickly wipe it off just fine. Alright. Primer in the hub of the Y. And then my clean out adapter. This is 1.25 inch clean out. It's a bit of an odd size, but they do make it in this size, usually for older houses. Alright, then the glue, and then take it, push, twist, and hold for 10 seconds. Alright, you can see that's in all the way, and then what I'll do is I'm going to take some Teflon tape, wrap it around here the direction of the threads, and then I will take a crescent wrench and I will screw this in. And the Teflon tape not only acts as a sealant, but it also allows the two parts to slide really well together. Then what I'll do, I'll take my trap, put it on after the pipe is trimmed. And I got a trap adapter that's going to go right there, and it will connect to the pop-up assembly. But I need to put the vanity in place to make sure that I know how much I want to trim. If you need to, you can also swivel this elbow to get it at any angle you need, and you just tighten it down into place. You don't use any Teflon tape on this connection. Now, after that's all done, just have to wait for it to dry. You don't need to wait too long. Usually about 10-15 minutes is good enough for this glue to dry.